Now in this tutorial we're going to continue with our template and looking at some other things we can do with it. One of the things I do want to be aware of is I made a mistake in the last tutorial where I don't show the heading up here. And it's actually pretty easy to figure out why. I just didn't think about it at the time. Anyway, right now what I'm saying that I'm doing is echoing the website header. And the problem is that website header is actually a function. So let me take I'm going to copy that code and just have the echo website header. That's the only thing that happens up there. And for some reason I still have the div ID logo, and it doesn't really matter. It's still the header part. And let me go back to my website baker, and this will be in the website header. So what I'm going to do is paste in my code. This is my test anther. Oh, I'll just call it anther site. So it's a quick little one, and there's my subtitle. So here's where my website header is. I'm going to save that. Now when I go back and test, look at that. It's actually created that to be huge. Wonder why it made it so big. For some reason I have in my CSS that text is going to be huge. But you can see what it's doing is it is actually outputting that code. So if I look in here, oh, it looks like I've got two H1s. So I do need to fix something there, and it could be I haven't saved this. So let me save that and then go back and refresh this one more time. Ah, now it's coming up to be the right size. Because I had not saved the page, I had just added things to the, I had not saved the HTML, at least, or the PHP file. So now we've got anther up there. Anther site doesn't really fit, so let me go back to my admin and just call it anther. Now when I refresh this, you'll see that looks a little bit better. Alright, so now we've got our basic pages set in there, and we're going to add a little bit more to this in this next tutorial. Now it is important that you go back and look at some of the other functions that are possible, especially when it comes to doing things like adding images, because if you want to do an image that is linked to your template or other files such as JavaScript files or include files or something like that, then you need to use this function called echo template directory, and then you would link to your file, whatever it is, like you would link to any file on any server. But this echo directory, template directory, is the function that Website Baker uses in order to find that template folder for whatever template you currently have. Now, what we're going to look at in this part is looking at this sidebar because we want to add content on the left. So in order to do this, I'm going to go over to my folder for Anther, and I'm going to find that info PHP file. And what we're going to do is add two blocks. So this is going to be the content block for block 1, and the other one is going to be the sidebar. So let me uncomment those blocks so that the two blocks will work, and then I can save this page and go back to Website Baker, and I'm going to just go to Pages right now. Now I'm going to go to page 2, and let's go to Manage Sections, and you'll see that we won't see anything yet because we still have to go and change this in our settings. So I'm going to go to Settings, and let's see if we can find what we need. It's probably under Advanced Options. So if I look down, there it is, multiple section blocks. There we go. We want section blocks. So we have to enable that and then save. Now when we go back to Pages, and then we go to Manage Sections, we should now be able to see the blocks for the sections here. So notice that we didn't have it when we had the settings not turned on. As soon as we have the sections turned on, we can see the information we have or the different blocks in our info file appear. Now what I'm going to do is add a WYSIWYG section, and I'm going to change this so it uses the sidebar. Now I'm going to go and edit the information and say this is the sidebar. I can save that. Now if I go and look at my site, I shouldn't expect anything to happen because I haven't actually enabled this sidebar yet in my template. So we're going to enable that in the template. I'm going to begin by copying the content tag and then pasting that where the sidebar is, and this will be the content 2 because that corresponds to block 2. Now that I've saved my page with Control S, let's go back and take a look, and we should be able to see when we're on the pages. Let's see, that is the sidebar, and it's not showing me the block where I want it to be. Let me make sure that that is showing content page 2. Okay, so you might have noticed that I wasn't getting what I wanted here. Even though I have page content 1 and page content 2 set in my content and sidebar. And it's really, really simple why it wasn't showing. One of the things that I forgot to do was just save. So I changed the sidebar to the WYSIWYG to sidebar, and I have to hit save because if I don't save it, it doesn't appear. So now when I try it out, it does indeed work. I have my content, this one, which is the first one, page 2, that is going on in the content block, and then this is the sidebar is going in to the sidebar section. And therefore, I'm able to have multiple content sections on any page. Now this particular page doesn't, the home page doesn't have any of them, but if I really wanted that to work, I can go to Pages, Home. Let's manage the sections, and you'll see the code block, which is hello, is currently in content. Now I just need to save that and put it into the sidebar section. Now I can come back, click on home, and you'll see that I have the hello over on the left and my content over on the right. So we're getting exactly what we want now. So this is really, really great because it allows you to create multiple content sections, and then you can just add multiple sections within your pages when you need them. Now we can do some other cool things like we're going to do in our next tutorial, which is looking at some of the droplets and things like that that we can add on. So let's go ahead to the next tutorial.